AI in Marvel Contest of Champions, something that gives some players the heebie-jeebies when you address something or talk about something that can definitely screw you over at a moment's notice depending on how the fight flows. So it's been about a month, or actually over a month, since Command put out their Dev Diary deep dive, addressing stuff, looking into things and giving us some promises of the future. And one of the biggest few sentences that came out from it, which a lot of people picked up on, was this right here: with all the above being said, the AI doesn't really know why it's hitting the buttons it's hitting, but when it makes a decision, it does so instantly and with perfect information. Frame perfect button masher. So if there are any windows, a window the AI can capitalize on, it will eventually find it. Think of how you sometimes tap a light randomly and find that you've just intercepted your opponent, and now imagine you have the perfect reaction timing to turn that into a full combo every single time. And of course it goes on, but that was something that a lot of players picked up on. And I'm sure a lot of people would be like, well, why didn't you pick up on this or make more of a kind of like emphasis and talk about this a lot more? We kind of did, but at the same time, being here for years. And unfortunately, being here for years means that this stuff saying exactly what we know. It's like ducks swim in water. The sky can be blue sometimes. Rain is wet. Water is wet. It's kind of like, I know this, and a lot of those kind of players that played for 10 years have just gone, maybe looked at this and gone, yeah, we know. I suppose the only refreshing thing is Command being honest about stuff. Like, I'm going to show something very recent. This Cyclops level of like special attack throwing. You're going to see something, some people would go like, well, okay, it might seem normal, player didn't do thing. Or it's AI recovery time. A player, I think the last 2-3 weeks, no, it was last 2 weeks, put a post out on Reddit, kind of going like, this is just like weird AI. And so people were not kind of, I'd say, supportive. Look, when you look at a situation of footage and go, this should not be, and somebody goes, nah, you were just late with what you were doing, you have to then have a look at, number one, do you see that the player made mistakes when playing? Or are you going to say something instead like, yeah, that's AI? And that's the difficulty. I'm very much in the camp of supporting the particular player that said that it was AI and how it threw the special attack. When I looked that footage back, and we'll show it in a minute, it to me rang true with something that was put in October of last year. When Kabam admitted that the AI was not in a great state, and that is what they're trying to fix and create something new, they did say that this was an issue. You have to hit the nail. You have to hit the nail on the head, at least in my opinion. So this is, you know, the top people and person within Kabam. AI recovery time is too fast. To me, after that particular special attack was thrown, it was like the AI was able to go, I'm going to see multiple special attacks from that Cyclops being thrown at me, but I've got this, I'm going to like just go into that window or recover quickly and boom, hit with a special attack. Which is not fair, but again, we know that this is the current state of AI within Marvel Contest of Champions. So if we're playing the footage right again, let's just kind of like do that from the start. Again, you know how Cyclops rotations are pretty brilliant when it comes to like smashing off some huge damage like right there and then. But it's largely when you've got that kind of like moment. You can see like there's like storms on the ground, right about here. You can see the player right there. We'll even put, do you know what? We'll even help you out here. We'll use some arrows. So you can see right here, the player has recorded this, and you can see they're mashing on the green. They're even like there, that particular point. Like nothing. It's like the champion knew whilst on the ground right there, like right at that particular point, but the storm is on the ground. And again, I know people will say, well, they obviously missed, they didn't do it in time. Like right there. Like, are you seeing that? Like, you're literally seeing that. But this was an issue back a long time ago. Something I've talked about a long time ago. AI special prioritization. And again, it's something when it comes to the issue of AI. The player has multiple slapped to do a special attack and just doesn't do it. And you can even see that with Cyclops there, like he is kind of doing that kind of twitching block thing, which is kind of like in it. Yeah, I don't know. To me, this always seems like an open and shut case, because Kabam have said AI recovery time is to, and people will say, well, it's not just AI recovery time, it's also, is this an input issue? It may be, but to me, this is all about the AI kind of going at this moment being knocked down when Storm was on the floor. The AI knew to have a prioritization of their special attack. Therefore, their recovery point is faster than the player, or that window is like a millisecond to a ridiculous degree. There's still like a logical assessment of this, in that the special animation, the multiple spamming of pressing down the special attack doesn't work. But nowadays in Marvel Contest of Champions, I don't think that you can trust anything that goes on with AI and what Kabam have built. I mean, Kabam even say that they're like, this kind of like champion definitely has a mind of its own. Like the defender has a mind of its own, which isn't fair to the player, and I don't think will ever be fair until that's actually done next year, or I think it's next year. And the reason I'm mentioning this again, or doing like a video, is kind of just making people aware, like giving people the benefit of the doubt, because the state of what you face off against in MCOC isn't perfect. And when are we getting this brand new AI system? Well, it's been a month, and I don't think you're going to see it in the next month or even the month after. Because if we're talking about something like a complete rebuild, then it's going to take a long time. And as well, they've got to build out new systems for perception and memory, and making decisions and get those decisions as close to parity with the current system as possible. After all, that weird random button masher is a core part of the contest, as we know, and we don't plan to start things off with wild departure from what you're used to. The thing that gets me is like how the new AI will be put in, because they don't plan to put it in like everywhere. It's going to be very much in certain quests and game modes. But then that could mean that if it's a new type of AI and you're having to your pattern changes, like how is that going to affect, like, say, nodes? Will AI be receptive to nodes on them? That is something I know that a lot of us are very kind of keen on, especially if you're looking at lengthy nodes in quests, whether it be something like Alliance quest raids, whether it's Alliance wars, whether it's like, you know, story mode. There can be a little tweak that's just not particularly great. But anyway, I don't know when the next update is, but I think it's important. It's still something that has bugged me. Like, it's bugged me for years, and I'm not saying I gave up. I just got sick of just moaning about constantly AI is this, AI is that. So we're looking forward to finding more information out. And give players and your fellow community members the benefit of the doubt, especially when you see circumstances where, like, you're questioning things. And the same thing when it comes to, like, yeah, we've got to suck this up for a while. What the future holds with AI, I hope it's good. And I'm looking forward to Kabam, as we said, putting a new update out. But where do you think AI is at the moment? And should this have been a top priority? I think it's still a top priority for Kabam, but would you like this to have been done, say, last year? We're kind of on borrowed time for performance, especially going to a PC version. Thoughts and comments? Thanks for watching. A bit of a chilled, laid-back video for a Saturday or Sunday. This is a weekend video. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.